Well, here I have a unit. It's a District of Columbia 16 and 1. How can it be placed there, and here I have it in the connector? So it came to me with an injector failure. So the first thing I did was pass it through the curve. Then it gave me all this. It gave me that. It was fine, and here he gave me this one that was wrong. Ready then in the job it came out that it is wrong, and indeed that component that is here is a short. It does not seem that it is broken and that it is burned. But well, whatever I see here, this button was flashing, so among the button of this project, I have created it. It is true and clear. As always, I try to include all the information that is possible, so here it is in the files. Lemon or to the unit, so nothing to do. I have loaded it to start it on the bench. To check it later, here we have the diagrams, and the diagrams I have them here. Right there they are here. I have marked for example of speed transmission of the motor. It would be 28. Which would be this one here, but as we can see, it has 3 connections. It has a power supply, a mass, and a signal. So which is which? For that, I used the multimeter, well, as we see there, to see what the mass and power supply were. 2 pins of these had a 5-volt power supply, and what the multimeter marked for me was. Then what I did with the electronic load was to find out signal parity. I generated a consumption for the pins that had 5 volts, and the pin that dropped voltage was the signal 1. So I connected both one and the other. Later, I also have sectors 243 here, and I have here 243 pump injector of cylinder 4 of cylinder 3, 2 and 1. So there are the connections that I made here, so I have it connected in the simulator. Right, that other cable, this one here, goes to what is the power supply. This power supply that is connected here in, let's say, my box, took all the power from there. So to be able to connect without problems with the unit, I had to match the ground. I matched the ground and it S. Here the source is showing me 24 volts, but it's what the source is giving okay at this moment, but I have been given 12 volts 3. I also have connected what is the diagnostic machine that is there, to be able to see what the unit is seeing, because I connected my Seeker PSM simulator for Volkswagen or for this specific unit. And what I'm going to do, nothing. I'm going to launch the unit now on the bench, and I'm going to see the answers I have there, right? As I have the files, I have the schematics, I already had the cable done. What I did was the other connection. So now I'm going here to connect 30 and 15. Then the green light came on, which is the relay, right? Now I am going to come here for the electronic diagnosis of the engine, so that she can connect, because she connected to read faults. I don't see it. And the simulator then, no, it does not proceed. What I am going to do is look at what the data flows would be. Data flow, I am going to read, or the list in gene spirit, and the amount injected is the only thing that interests me to see now the speed of revs, to see if my SKP-SMP generator is running now, it is off or not. And now I am going to turn it on. From this button I have it here.
Power.
The power the same, if not I would have to match the ground to make it work. Then I am going to connect it. There. The general view is turning on as we see the sound. It is generating 42 revolutions and it puts 51. And here we see that 1, 2 and 3 are working to give a little more revolutions, the noise to disturb enough music. There is the 4, it is not working. I have 147 revolutions and it is not working because it is not connected. If I connect it, which is the next pin, the PP indicates it stays on for me. So I am not going to pay. This has me crazy. Good, as now we have seen. Before that it was working. We saw that this one here was the one that was wrong, right, because it always stayed on. What was the light? If not, it did not make my pulse the same as I had looked at him with the curve, and it came out that it was wrong, and the painter but very bad in pin 2 that was wrong. So now what I am going to do, I am going to start again like what I did at the beginning, and well, here I have the pieces to change it, and we are going to do it as we already saw the first hand that did not work. So we are going to see the before and after. So the first thing I am going to do is connect the mass of the curve. Well, I would have to look for the project first to know where the mass goes. I already know, but B, we are going to do the procedure. This is 1, it is 16, 13, 16 and 1, so here we see how important the name is. What name I am going to give it, because I could now put the position from that 16 per unit, but if I put Volkswagen or whatever, Turin, or I put the number, or I put the Skoda, well, there they will show me. Here it will show me all the options that I have with the name that I put. That is that this is going to be a code name, that this is the code name is from that 16.1, and now I am going to delete it and put it back. No, and with Volkswagen I get these two already, and it changed me, and now I get the Skoda one. You know, these two returned then the code name that we put in our very important project, but well, this video doesn't come from the curve, just from one more tool like a screwdriver. So I'm going to select this curve test with demo memory only. No, because we're going to change and we're going to bench run this unit. That's what this video is about. Or I'm going to put my channel 1. So here I see that the mass is here in the corner, and I have put it there. Well, all this side has to be put here, and there it is. There is the mass towards the position of unity, but I'll give it to you to put it like this so that it stays closer to you for the best. So what am I going to do? I'm going to click this first here, and here I have 3 options. Okay, I have the normal mode, the pulse and saturation. We are going to do it with the normal later. If you want, we can try the others, and here I mark the little photo. Which is this? No. You already know what I think, but let's go differently, because you're already here. Maria, we're not going to put on this X camera. We're going to put this one on, and I'll pay you. It's there. It remains the same. Well, so now the pine tree does not click here. The wine does not attract towards us. 8 is fine. I go to the next pin, number 2. It is fine, but now this thing of having to pass it to the next turn is a bit of a pain. What I am going to do, I will to mark here the car med go then. Now I'm just going to click when. It's okay, go to the next one. Okay, so now let's go to this other one here. What is this one up? Here he clicked here. And again on 2. And 3, 4. Wow man. Now let's see what's wrong this one. Here that was not working badly and open. Pin 1. We know that there is a 16% difference. Down here that is like it is. Like before the line, so if the open circuit, okay, this is a short circuit, right? What would this be? This is a short. I am touching the negative. So what is happening here that the current is passing here? Very close to the cutoff, it would have to be a little further away. Let's say that here they are. We are going to put number 3 and here it is. Happening with 2 numbers, there it is. So here the driving is good. But it is bad, this is when the one that is bad. I go to number 2, number 2. I have the same image, however it drives in number 2, it does not start driving. If I go back, it is the same, I go forward. So I have a short from this pin with this pin, that is, these two are joined. There. I am going to go to the next one. The third one is there. It turned red, indicating that they are wrong. Now, next step, next step. What is the next step? I already saw that it was wrong. We are going to do the test for example of, and select this. The pulse tests the pulse test. Open the pulse test. So that I am going to change the camera. We are going to use this cable here. Not this cable here, which will be the one that it is going to inject the pulse, and I am going to put it here in the yellow where it is blinking there in yellow. I am going to connect it here. Now here on the screen I am going to zoom in a little bit. I am going to move here a little the photo and the gene. It tells me that the gene is okay. I'm going to leave it in the chassis where we had it at the beginning because it's more true that channel 1 is going to go here and the one for the pulse is going to go here. So I'm going to put the body that we chose. This I'm going to put the pulse pin here. Uses that we have the camera is the end of the pulse is not right here. We have this one here. We have here the neighbor. This one that we have the one we are testing. Now I am going to click here. In fact here. And it tells me that it is wrong. No. And it tells me that it is wrong because it tells me that it's wrong. I'm going to put the gene here. And it tells me that it's wrong. What's wrong with this? Because it's there, it's activating. I just remove it. I have this like this to mark the mass here. And now it tells me that it's okay. It would be wrong. It would be wrongly caught. It would not be wrongly caught. Music. Doll. Would be wrongly connected to a bad connection, and there it tells me that it is 100% good. Here comes the positive negative output. Here is the pulse pin. We see how big the pulse is. Then here the MOS starts to drive. If we have a lamp at this point, the lamp is on. I did not finish the activation of the MOSFET. It was disconnected or turned off. The switch returned to normal, and then here it started to drive. At this point everything Is not this other shot? And here it started to conduct, so the lamp is on at this point and at this point. Here where the lamp is on, or the injector is injecting, although ready. So I'll give it OK. And exit, that's fine. We can do the test with this from here to see what you are doing, pulse test, but since it is short, it will come out that the connection is wrong. The same connections. I am going to do this, it can be seen, and it was clicked here. There I have the general image without the pulse pin, and I will give it the pulse now. There it is. All this is screwed up. The fruit is there. We have already seen what we came to do, which was to check that it was there, not to show it. Not like the ball, that this mobile here was wrong. Later I checked it with the machine that I put the signal from Cape. So now I'm going to change it, okay? So I wanted to show that we don't change it. I'm going to do it, will you? Then I could give these 400 degrees for 200,620. No. Now I have to clean this. Go, man. I'm here. All this because the garage opened during the week in your city arrives or drives. I take advantage of the fact that it's a little hot from the air we gave it. And the tin, I don't have the tin well here. Well, let's give it with anything. Here the mini tools number is there. I bought it. I don't remember what it cost me. Oh. Now I would have to clean this, but where is it? Where I left it now? In the middle of the file. I like any of this. You have to clean the legs. Not all the clean I am going to put it there. I'll have to put on an extractor, but well, it's soldering. On the list, it's fixed, it starts. And it's logical to see where it is. Laughter. More or less. Well, there it's changed. No, I bet the new one, it might not be noticeable that I change it. But hey, are the same now. I am going to connect. Again here the mass. I am going to come here. I am going to test it again. We are going to see what it gives us. If we have something wrong in this line, this capacitor or this resistance, good, the capacitor, this or something else that is in this same line, well, this is going to give that it is bad. Let's see. And hear more today that it was good. The perfect second passes. So now it's done now. It has to work now. I'm going to cut this video and we are going to continue with the other camera to connect it. To connect everything. And see how it works. What I did not show was with Garcia's oscilloscopes, but well, it doesn't matter. It was clear that it did not work. If we connect it now and it works, well, the test will be great. The truth is, ready, we are going to do that. Good, ready, we have it connected. And we are going to see. We have to see how it worked. I do not have it there. I am going to feed it. I put the 15. And I already have the consumption of 653, but the diagnosis consumes 100 and a bit, not then. And the simulator is not connected yet. It is not powered. It is with the button that green there that is here. And that more I have used the electrical diagram again to know what I inject res on the pins as far as they go. And it's ready. I have to turn this on here. I'm going to put it here in the middle, and now you have to download the program. When I'm done here and there, it starts to work, and there we have it. A little more of revolutions. I am going to remove it. And I am going to turn it off because we are going to look at the noise in the gyroscopes, and I am going to click here on leg 1. And that is what I have, not that is what atmosphere enters at the exit. I have the same thing but amplified in the other also. And so this signal comes from these here that come from the component that is on the other side. There is the same signal that we have there in the mountains. Here there is nothing. So they come from there to here to the monks and turn it off, then there it is already I have the unit working with the 4 injectors. My simulator I know that it is working. Well, the diagnosis do not connect it because it is no longer applicable. I am going to look if it does not have anything connected. And what more now, this it's working now before putting it in, because you have to check in the vehicle why that transistor broke. It can't be that it has broken because it has failed, or it could be that there is something wrong with the installation or the injector that causes it to break. What do I mean? That I was with this test I have already seen that it works, that the 4 work the same. I have checked it with the wires I copy in the same signal, then it breaks again. It will be that there is something wrong in the car, not because it is working here and now. This the video was hurt. Look, it works fine. Check the car to see if it contains something wrong. If everything is fine, it connects to work, but before sending it, I have to reload the original file so as not to send it with the lemon. Right. I put the original and that's it. So that's been all. Good for those who have stayed here. I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do with this unit. Well, more than a trick. Let's say what options I have here. With connected where various sectors on pin 46, not that pin 46 corresponds. 46 corresponds to 1. I don't want that long there. I have cylinder 1 already connected here to the Velez relay. It has music. I hit it in the middle to know that it is on. And then it is connected here to positive 30. Okay. So now what I am going to do, I am going to give the emulator to move the signal of the crankshaft of the camshaft. And there you are seeing the infection here. I am going to raise the revolutions. And this gives me, it is simulating the injector. So if I put 4 relays, then I am going to do the same as that work. So this is the first type, the first option that can be done with this unit to know the directors. Need the camshaft crankshaft simulator. The feeding and with 4 relays, and you would already know it. We are going to go to the next good guy. The next tip is about the camshaft sensor and the crankshaft. That is, here I have engine speed transmission, the G28, and the G28S, and it has 3 cables, and which one is the one for the signal? Not because there are 3 power supply, ground and signal, but which of the 3 is then? Let's see. We are going to see a pin 42, for example. There is number 42. That it is. Then I come here, I have the unit powered right. I have to come here 142. 4.5, there is the 42. 42. Okay, so now the 42 I am going to connect it here in my electronic load. That I am going to turn it on. I have to connect the mass to remove the mass. I have the cable from here. This is the same one. I'm going to connect you here. And now we see 42 and plugged it in the back. So there it tells me that it's 5 volts. It's just that it does and look good. I don't know if it's going to look good. Well, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to generate a charge. I have it turned on. We can see that it dropped 5 points from 75 to 40. No. And now why do you want to accept it? I'm going to raise 50 here. Milliamps. 60 milliamps, 70 milliamps, not a blind per or 10 samp 70 milliamps. Is there? It is still maintained with 5 volts. 80 milliamps. Now here are 80,000 amps. And it started to get fatigued, number 90, and it's already low. Okay. 90, so this pin is here. 42 is the power supply. Okay, let's see 58. So this I had disconnected from here. The 58, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 57, 58 counting backwards from 60. Backwards. From 60 backwards, and that's it. Okay, that's it then. Now you can suck. Here. And I have 5 volts to right. I'm going to lower it here. Relax at 10 milliamps. I'm going to turn it on. It's on. Okay. Now I'm going to raise it. Well, look at the continuity, and it's already gone down. Signal. Here where I am going to plug in, for example, the one for the crankshaft. Okay, then there. And find out which one is the one with the signal and the other, since I already found the positive one. And I found the one for the signal. Well, 57 you go to the most obviously. It is not necessary that I connected it. I would have to look at the mass with the multimeter. I could not do it with this. So it is already there. I would do the same with the other sensor.